Hey
Hi.
guys, so JP, you just touched on this kind of a little bit. So I'm going to ask both of you though, how you previously worked on other Boss Baby stuff. What excited you the most about coming back and working on Back in the Crypt?
For me, the most exciting thing, and I think JP mentioned a little bit that it's a new dynamic. Boss Baby's got a little bit more that he's fighting against here, and just from the tools that we as writers get to play with, suddenly there's a whole new cast. Really, Boss Baby's the only, pretty just about the only character who's back as himself. Tim's back, but he's 20, 30 years older. He's married, he's got kids of his own. And suddenly we just had this whole new family dynamic, this whole new work dynamic, and these amazing actors that came in for us for these new characters. And it felt so fresh and fun to be able to play with a whole new box of crayons.
Great.
Yeah, I will second that. It is very much stepping into an old familiar friend with into a story with an old familiar friend, but a completely different set of circumstances. Even if some of those names do sound familiar, I mean, you meet JJ and you instantly know that this is the child of Stacy and Jimbo from our previous series, but an entirely different persona, which is just it's super fun. It's a wonderful remix.
Okay, so you have an incredibly funny cast. JP, you're hilarious. I love Nicole too from, other things I've seen her in, and just watching the episodes that we were given, like, oh God, I love her dynamic and I love what she brings to the show. Was there a lot of room for improv? Did you guys get to film it all with each other, record it all with each other to kind of play back and forth?
God, I wish.
Me too.
Thanks, pandemic. Because I mean, the
True.
last series we did get to record a lot together, and I think one of the great parts of my dynamic with Pierce Gagnon, who played young Tim in the previous series, was that we did get to work off each other. But that said, I still think it's kind of a testament to the talents of Mary and Max Middleman and Kritzia, and of course the incomparable Nicole Byer, that I mean, these episodes still really click, even though not only did we not work with each other, most of us haven't met each other. So, like, it's like I know Mary outside of this work, but everybody else, I actually met Kritzia later, almost after we had finished recording. It was like, oh, you play my sort of mom. But yeah, the writing is so smart, and also there's so much heart built into it that it's easy to play that, even if you're just alone in a box by yourself.
Okay, so my kids were cracking up that the whole premise of him going back to being a baby is because he was avoiding jail time. So they wanted to know if you two could turn into a baby to avoid jail or some other lame, adult thing, would you do it?
Jail, yes. Anything short of that, it seems like a pretty big sacrifice. If it was just, I want to get out of a dinner appointment, I mean, it seems like a bit excessive. There's a lot of downsides to being small again and not being in charge of your own life. But yeah, if I were unjustly accused of a crime I didn't commit and the only way out of it was to be a baby, I might drink the formula.
Yeah. I'm just imagining like living the life of the movie Fugitive, but just as a baby, um, diving at the sewer grate and the whole deal. Uh, sure, I think so. Especially because it's still, if especially if we're following the laws of Boss Baby Land, I still am able to speak and and communicate with people. Then I might have a shot at clearing my name. So sure, yeah, let's do that.
I feel like because the effects are temporary, unless you get more formula, you could totally use it to get out of a dinner party that you don't want to go to. Like, oh, I'm just not feeling well.
Yeah, I'm just
Brandon's
stuck
not
for
here,
48
but a
hours
baby is.
though.
Oh, yeah, my baby's sick. Sorry. Okay, JP, I know you're working on the new X-Men series for Disney Plus.
What are you
And
talking
Boss
about? I don't.
Baby,
Hmm?
oh, I know. Well,
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
know I feel like Boss Baby's kind of mutant adjacent because he changes his size. So if he had to go to Professor X's school for gifted youngsters, how do you think he would fare?
Well, he's also almost bald, big-headed, like, he'd take it over. It would be the Ted Templeton School for Gifted Youth. And he would monetize it. There'd
Oh
be
my
no more of
God.
this altruistic saving the world. Oh no, there's a charge.
I'm imagining when Jack Frost took over the North Pole in the Santa Claus 3, like that kind of situation. Like, here's your tour and here's your merch and here's all the stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know this could be a hard question, but if you had to pick a Boss Baby character you related to, who would it be?
Um, I okay. I'm gonna give you the cop out answer first, which is any character on this show is a little piece of me. So all of them. That's the total cop out answer. Uh, but the one who probably gets the most of me, it's going to make me sound horrible, but it's probably Boss Baby. Not because I agree with him all the time or even most of the time. Um, but he is this little guy who is just constantly trying and just keeps messing up, but using that to try to be a little bit better, Any season or any show that he's done or in the movies, you see a little bit of growth from him and you're like, okay, that little guy's giving his best. And that's what I aim for.
Yeah, I mean, yes to all of that. um, I'd say in this series it's Tim. And I think that comes from, I'm not a parent, but it does come from that idea of I'm definitely a kid at heart, and there's always that balance of wanting to reclaim a lot of that childhood wonder and feeling while at the same time trying to maintain adult responsibilities. So I feel his struggle. Yeah, I'd say it's Tim.
Yeah, I think we all struggle with that.